Shalom uvracha, everybody. This week's Parasha is Parashat Devarim. We begin the fifth book of the five books of Moses. Devarim, in Latin, they call it Deuteronomy, I think, which means the repetition, because Moses was repeating kind of the main bullet points of the first four books. And Devarim is a special book because the first four books, Moses was basically God was dictating and Moshe was writing down. Moshe was the hand and God was the mind. The fifth book, Moses' mind was coming more into play. It was the human mind coming more into play. But nevertheless, it's considered on the same level of holiness as the first four books, which were completely dictated by God, which was showing that this was the idea of elevating human mind and bringing the human mind to godliness. Obviously, it was through Moses, because Moses, it says, was the greatest prophet ever. No one will ever reach to the level of prophecy that Moses had, that he spoke to God face to face. He was considered like a member of the household. He could come in whenever he wanted. Moses is telling the Jewish people, he's giving them rebukes in this first parasha. It's veiled rebukes. It's kind of, he's hinting to the places where they had kind of messed up, but he didn't want to tell it to them revealed. He was kind of just hinting it to them. And the idea is that we have to be able to hear, the word in Hebrew is musar, discipline, kind of be able to hear a little, when someone tells us something, it's important to be able to hear. It says, love rebuke, because rebuke will stand you on the true high place. As human beings, we don't always know what's good and bad for ourselves, because we're close to ourselves and we can't always see our bad habits. It's not easy to see it, and sometimes it's easier for someone who's outside of us, another person, to see it. It's clearer. And Moses was kind of trying to wake the people up. He recited this book in 37 days. It's pretty amazing. It was the last 37 days of his life, and there's a lot of blessing, and the idea is also that when we rebuke someone, it should come first from love. The person that's giving the rebuke has to make sure that they have love inside, and they're coming from love, and the whole reason why they're telling this person something, so to speak, bad about them is because they love them, and they don't want to see them doing something that's unhealthy or not good or bad for them, and they're trying to change them, and it's coming from love. And then it's much easier to receive the rebuke. It's likened to a nurse or doctor giving a shot. They don't come just jab the needle into somebody. No, they come, they prepare, they come with clean hands and gloves. They're clean themselves. They make sure they're clean. They prepare the patient, prepare the spot, and then they do it as gentle as possible to give the shot. And what's needed, that's the kind of the parable for this. It's also Shabbat Chazon, that we read the vision of Isaiah, because it's the Shabbat before the Tisha B'Av, the day of the destruction of both temples. So it's a special Shabbat spiritually, that we have a vision, so to speak, of the third temple. We can connect to that, because the third temple is in existence, and we just kind of need to connect. So should all have a Shabbat Shalom.